Okay, people, if I were to take a vote, which one of these plants do you guys feel is the mother plant or the original? Now, if you've been on my YouTube channel, I'm sure most people know the obvious answer, which is actually the plant to the left side. This is my original Enjoy Pothos. I've had it almost 3 years. I got it when I lived in Pittsburgh, when I first kind of got in the hobby and started really taking it kind of serious. And this plant, it used to be cover the whole circumference of the pot. When I moved to Florida, it kind of burned in the sun, and I had to kind of start over with it. But today, I don't really want to get into that too much, because this is the baby plant. But what's interesting about it is I rooted this in my my 15-gallon aquarium tank. So I'm kind of showing you the difference of like which one looks more illustrious. I mean, this one does have some very exquisite colors to it, but if you were to look at this one, it's a lot bigger. Looks like there's 2 or 3 splits on it, and this came originally from one single strand. Put it in the aquarium, and this is what it led to. I think the difference between just doing a simple split, especially with golden pothos or pothos, if you just do a simple split, they kind of have to, grow on their own. Not too fast. Okay, now here's the tricky part. This is my Marble Queen Pothos that you're looking at. That's the mother plant in the center. You see how illustrious this particular one is. But like I say, it is the original plant. With this particular plant, I did not water root it. What I did is when I seen trailing, some of the edges were trailing, which I'll show you that in a second. Right now, I'm just kind of showing you what the plant looks like and some of the new growth on the lower layers of it. Okay, with this, when I seen it was spilling over and it had air roots, I just simply cut it. Now, there's an earlier video where you could see the process of it on my channel, and I just basically put it in the soil. Now, these ones did not root in the water first. It went straight to the soil. Same with this one over here. It was a simple split. You see how well it's doing. So the Marble Queen Pothos is the only variety that I know where it actually seems to do better if you just split it without putting it in water. But that's only this particular species. I would not recommend it for the other ones. I guess, I mean, they're growing on their own no matter how you do it. But when they're fed by the aquarium, they're getting the benefit of the fish waste. They turn that into plant food, or it's basically a natural fertilizer, and it subsequently cleans your water all at one time. So it basically makes your plants grow like they're on steroids, because you can look at this one and see the huge, tremendous difference. So I advise it to anybody when you do a split. Like certain pothos, if you do a Marble Queen, which I'm about to show that in a minute, you can't do a simple split without water rooting it. But most of the other pothos or pothos, you have to give it that. It's almost like Head Start or like baby formula. You have to give it the benefit of rooting in water to build the root system. So this is just a side-by-side comparison. Mother plant, aquarium filter rooted propagation. So it's a huge I just realized my foot was in there. It's a huge, huge, tremendous difference. Now here's my latest golden pothos that I'm rooting inside of my filter, just so you could see it from the beginning. A lot of times you only see the the end result where it's this huge monstrous plant. This time I'm showing it in reverse, or I'm letting you see where it starts at when it's not really all that big. But you can look at those roots. So this is all new growth that you're looking at. When I put it in here, it was only 2 to 3 leaves. I didn't really count necessarily, but it's definitely more than 1 or 2. And it's rising up. It's not just plopping to the ground. So that lets you see that it has a lot of strength to it. You see my little angel back there between the roots. He's just kind of chilling over there. This is a totally different tank. That's a Marble Queen Pothos, a silver leaf philodendron that came from my other tank. If you look where my finger is, you'll see a new bud between the root and my finger. So looks like it's taking root, possibly. And then, of course, the golden pothos, which everything under the water level is brand new. Including all these roots that you're staring at. You see how long they are, even in the background. The one to the far right, it's almost touching the soil level at the bottom of the tank, or the sand. So all of these are successful water propagation projects. So even though they do look a hot mess, it does look kind of unkept or wild. But that's the look I was going for. Kind of wanted the tank where it wasn't so structured. There's a Scindapsis Pictus, Cebu Blue Pothos. There's also a Velvet Leaf Mican philodendron in here. So even though it does look wild and crazy, I know for a fact that these plants are being propagated. So it's not really so much about the looks with this particular tank project. I just want to see the I want to water root these instead of just simply put them in the soil and let them go on their own. That's the idea. These lights are not really cooperating with me, but you're kind of looking at the somewhat the end result of what's happening under the water. Okay, look, if you look right there, see the little mican sticking out? That's a velvet leaf mican philodendron, and there is a trailing root that leads further into the water. Let me see what else is in here. More mican. It's not really focusing how I want it, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to get at. It is that it's a successful project. Okay, just one final look. These are 2 stems of an Enjoy Pothos, and then also the origin of the silverleaf philodendron. So hopefully you guys can see the difference of when they're just simply placed in the soil or rooted in the water. Now this is where the silver philodendron comes from originally. It looks very horrible. I had to do a lot of cuts because I noticed some yellowing on it, and I'm a person, anytime I think my plants are in danger, I cut them to propagate them. So if these ones don't last, I owe one of my friends a copy, and I will be giving it to him, but hopefully not these ones. So if I did my job, I've kind of demonstrated to you the difference between when you simply split your plants or when you root them in the water. I think water does have a better result. And if you could do it in a aquarium filter, it's even better. Or even just hanging bare roots in the tank. because they will get those extra nutrients from the tank, and they will grow like crazy, I promise.